Hello everyone, my name is Joseph-Alexandre and this video is dedicated to all the Coptic queer people, wherever you are, whatever country you live in, whatever part of your story you're still figuring out. Because I'm just here to introduce myself, to share part of my own journey and remind you of something that you may not have heard of enough. You are not broken and you are not alone. I grew up in a Coptic community surrounded by strong traditions, a deep faith, a sense of family that is both very complex and very beautiful, although can feel very sad and harmed. But like many of you, I also grew up carrying something really quietly inside me, something that didn't really fit the expectations around masculinity, family roles, or what it meant to be a good Christian, an obedient son, or an acceptable human. Learning that I was queer didn't necessarily scare me. It was more about realizing how my family and how my community might receive it that became really overwhelming. So if you're watching this, you probably know exactly what I mean. We're not only carrying fear, there's also like some ancestral trauma of colonization and migration and survival, pressure to make the family proud. But queerness becomes something that we feel we have to hide and negotiate or soften or push down when, in fact, the opposite is what we need. That is pride. I want you to hear something clearly, and this has taken, I don't know, maybe 15 plus years for me to finally make a video like this, to put myself out there. And I'm going to say this to my younger self as I speak to you and I hold you by both of your hands. You do not have to erase yourself to keep your culture. You do not have to choose between being Coptic and being queer. You are allowed to exist as both. It took me years to understand this, to try to reconcile this idea of Coptic means, it's a background, it's an ethnicity, it's a culture, it's a religion. It was years of grief, years of confusion and feeling distant and rebuilding myself and eventually finding my chosen family. People who saw me for who I am and love me and accept me without any conditions. No one's asking me, are you a real man? What does it mean to be gay? Does it work? Referring to, anyways, maybe that's another story. Let me just tell you, chosen family is real. Support is real. Belonging is real. And you deserve all of it. Today, I work as a relational support counselor, and I live in Quebec. I accompany many people through their own emotional, relational, and identity challenges. And I look back at all the work that I've done, and it inspires me to share this message to say, keep going, find support, get grounded, feel yourself, get some tools, reconnect, and you're not alone. And I want to tell you something as someone who's lived it, and of course, still living it. You can build a life outside of the fear that you had growing up about losing family, losing tradition, losing a part of yourself. You can create safety and love and a chosen community. And I hope that each one of you who this message resonates with does inevitably or eventually find that. I hope that you can heal from family patterns without abandoning who you are. And I know that I felt like I was in a 40 years in a desert kind of situation, not being able to find myself, avoiding certain parts, feeling lost. Being Coptic and queer is not a contradiction. It's a story of survival, of courage, of tenderness, and truth. We exist. We're out there. You and me and all of us. So if you need to talk, if you need support, if you want to grieve, don't hesitate to reach out. Maybe this is a new community, part of a community that I'm starting. I don't know where this is going to take me, but I felt really compelled to share this message, especially in the last couple of days as we get closer to the end of the year. So I end with this. To every Coptic queer person watching this, your existence is sacred. Your journey is valid. And your future can be bigger, freer, and I hope softer than you've ever allowed yourself to imagine. And I send this message to my child self and myself from not even that too long ago. I wish you all the best. Take care.